So this tutorial is on correlation, and correlation is looking at the relationship between two variables that are depicted in a scatter plot. So this here is an example of positive correlation. So when the pattern in the scatter plot slopes up and to the right, it's positive correlation. What this means is one quantity increases, the other quantity will also increase. Likewise, it's also positive correlation if one quantity decreases and the other quantity also decreases. So it's not positive, it's not just about going up, it's about both variables moving in the same direction. So some examples could be, for example, height and weight. Usually, as people get taller, they weigh more. Another example could be temperature and number of people swimming. As it gets hotter outside, more people swim. Likewise, as it gets colder outside, less people swim. So in that case, they're both going down, but that's still positive correlation. Let's move on to another type of correlation. That one would be negative correlation. So as you can see in this picture, what's happening is the pattern is sloping down and to the right. What that means is that one quantity is increasing and the other one is decreasing. So with negative correlation, it means the quantities are moving in opposite directions. So for example, let's think of two things that are negatively correlated. So an example could be as you spend more time studying, so hours spent studying, you're going to spend less time watching TV. So these are working in opposite directions. As the hours you spend studying go up, the time you spend watching TV goes down. Because they move in different directions, it's negative correlation. Likewise, as you watch more TV, maybe your hours spent studying goes down. The third type of correlation is called no correlation. And this is basically when you have a whole bunch of random dots and things aren't related to each other. So for example, you could have shoe size and marks. So there is no proof that someone with big feet has high marks and someone with little feet has low marks, or vice versa. It really doesn't matter. Your shoe size and what your marks in school are, they have nothing to do with one another. So they would show no correlation. A couple other things just to note here. With correlation, if the dots are really close together and they form almost a line, we're going to say that they have strong correlation. So this first example, the one with positive correlation, these dots are very close together. We would call that strong positive. If the dots aren't really close, they still form a line, but they're not super close, we're going to say that it has weak correlation. And in this example of the negative correlation, the dots are more spread out. I wouldn't say this is super weak, but it's certainly weaker than the first one, so we might call this a weak negative correlation.